My name is Christine G, and I am doing this recording about the discussion for Module 3. So really, there are two options, and this video is going to pertain to both of those options. So for option 1, we'll look at that first. We're going to have you thinking about a population mean that you may be interested in and propose a confidence interval problem for this parameter. The parameter is the population mean. And they give an example here of going out to dinner each week, and then you would put your proposal together and make that your initial post. And then what you're going to do is you're going to calculate the level of confidence, so a confidence interval. And in this case, 95% would work, or another confidence interval for the population mean. And I recommend doing that in StatCrunch. So let me go ahead and pull that over here, and we will take a look. So you can go into StatCrunch and go into any particular problem. I went into the homework problem set for Module 3. And then to pull up StatCrunch, you can just go in here. And now I am vegan, so I am all about the animals, the environment, and so much more. So I am going to do it on how many servings of fruits and vegetables I eat per day. So here I am going to put number of servings of veggies and fruit. And your data you can obtain through a website or from friends, serving people, however you want to. And for the purpose of this example, I am just going to make up some numbers. And so, and I eat quite a bit of fruits and vegetables. They are good for me, so I am all about eating many fruits and vegetables. I always have a salad and fruit salads and things like that. So some days though I may go out to eat and not eat as many, but definitely gonna eat quite a bit. And all protein comes from, yes, plants. So important to get that in too. So, and then here, what I want to do is I want to develop that confidence interval, and I do that. So my sample is less than 30, so I'm going to use the T-stat, and I go into stat and then T-stats and then calculate, and I have one sample, just got one variable at the top, and then I have the data. I don't have the summary statistics, so I have a list of the data, and the variable is just var1 at the top. And then I'm not going to perform a hypothesis test, but a confidence interval for mu, which is the population mean. And I can do it, if I want to change this, I can do it at 90%. You can choose your own, 95. And then here, let me see if I can push this up a bit. So I don't have to do this, but I'll go ahead and do the histogram as well, just see how that all comes out. And then at the bottom of the page, over in the right bottom, you can't see it, but it does say oh, here we go, compute. So I will go ahead and click that, and then here, automatically calculated things. So we get the sample mean, which is 6.7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day that I'm eating, the standard error. And then the lower limit, which is 5.3. We could even round these to whole numbers because that's what we were looking at in our example. And usually people say, I eat 5 servings or I eat 8 servings of fruits and vegetables. So we could definitely round this. So this would be, our mean would be around 7 servings. And then here, our lower limit would be 5 servings to 8 servings. And now in StatCrunch and in these problems that you're doing for your problem sets, definitely they'll ask you what, where to round. So they may ask you to round to 3 places, things like that. So you want to be careful of that. And then we can also, if we want to, look at the histogram. And here is the mean. It's very close to 7. And one more thing to note is that the population parameter, which would be the population mean, would be between the lower end. We could say that we're 95, or this one was 90% confident that that falls within the lower and upper limit. So perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that off to the side, and then we'll take a look at option 2 and what we're doing here. So here, this is very similar, but we're calculating, thinking about the population proportion instead. So instead of the population mean, the population proportion, and then we're going to, have you propose a confidence interval for this parameter and then do the calculations. And in this one, they're using the population proportion is for the people who own in the US SUVs. And a sample was done at a local dealership, and 142 out of 432 vehicles sold are SUVs. And then again, you're going to calculate the 90% or other confidence interval for the population proportion this time instead. So I still have my StatCrunch open, and what I will do is go into Stat, and then this is going to be, instead of the T-stat, we're going to look at proportion stats, and then this is going to be one sample, and we have the summary data, okay, because I don't have a column of data. So the number of successes, I think it was 142 out of 432. I may be slightly off. So 142 successes, that means 142 people that were surveyed had SUVs out of 432 that were surveyed in total. And we're not going to do a hypothesis test. Instead, we're going to do a confidence interval for the proportion. And here we can leave it, the confidence level at 0.95. Why don't we do that? And then we leave it at standard walled. And then we're computing it. And so here, so our sample proportion is, I would probably say, we could put it out 1 decimal place and say 32.9% is our sample proportion. And then here is our standard error. And then the lower limit would be 28.4%, and then the upper limit would be 37.3%. We're rounding to the nearest decimal place, to the first decimal place. And then we could say we're 95% confident that the population proportion falls within the lower and upper limits. So that is it, and you want to make sure that you post your initial post on, the population parameter that you're thinking about, whether it's, and what you think the confidence interval might be. And then after you do that, then you post a reply to your own initial post, and your reply will have the calculations that you do in StatCrunch. So let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. My email is c.gee@snu.edu. Thanks so much, and good luck.